All right, Shalom. First, I start by saying all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Abishai, by Hashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Ruel, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. This is a 16-year-old arrested, cars vandalized as teen takeover descends on Hyde Park. All right, so let me get this Hyde Park real fast. And this is located in Chicago, Illinois. This is Hyde Park. Hyde Park is a historic, cultural rich neighborhood on Chicago's South Side, known for the University of Chicago, the Museum of Science and Industry, and its diverse agriculture, including Frank Lloyd Wright's Robbie House. It's like anchored by Lake Michigan. It features parks like Jackson Park, and with its Japanese garden, independent bookstore, and a vibrant mix of shops and restaurants, offering a small town feel with big city culture. The area is also famous as the former home of President Barack Obama and was the site of the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition. Let's see. University of Chicago, a major anchor with Gothic architecture, the Oriental Institute, and a small museum of art. Museum of Science and Industry, a large interactive science museum with exhibits like a U-505 submarine and a coal mine. Frank Lloyd Wright's Robbie House, an iconic example of prairie school agriculture. Right now, y'all can finish reading that, but I'm gonna get to this video, because these two teens are doing is, one, unacceptable, but two, it's a good thing that they're doing it, because it's gonna help push racial tensions just as well as help push them race wars. See, Jake and them is not a lot of Jake gonna come back together, but there's gonna be a lot of Jakes that's not gonna come back, and you're gonna have some holding hands with the white man, or whatever the case may be. But one thing people gonna remember, most definitely, is that these teenagers were the cause and the problem. They got certain legislations passed, the troops roaming the streets and things like that, because that's exactly what's going on. So they're gonna take all that anger, and that they have a spirit of vengeance on them to kill y'all. And then they're gonna matter that you're a black man killing a black man, because it's ultimately the judgment held by Shema Shai. But I'm going to press play on this video and add a couple precepts.
Yeah, Mark and Tanya Mayor Brandon Johnson says that these teen trends are not something that Chicagoans should just have to learn to live with. And he says police are employing new tactics to try and deal with them. Earlier, I spoke one-on-one with Police Superintendent Larry Snelling about these gatherings. He says there has to be more accountability. In Hyde Park last night, a large group of young people caught on video walking over cars as the crowd moved down the street. Chicago police were on the scene, where they walked with the teens during part of the evening, trying to keep order. Once the 10 p.m. curfew went into effect, police arrested 3 people for curfew violations. A 16-year-old girl was cited for unlawful possession of a weapon and failure to obey police. Police Superintendent Larry Snelling, after a police graduation ceremony, said parents and guardians need to do a better job in keeping young people out of troubling situations.
When we don't hold them accountable, we're telling them that what they're doing is okay, and it's not, right? We can't have them harming each other, harming others, damaging property. We want to make sure that everyone gets to enjoy our city.
Just last week, another large group of young people descended on the Loop, where fights broke out during a disruptive evening that led to 8 arrests send 24 curfew citations. Superintendent Snelling says as we head into summer, police will keep modifying tactics as needed to try and prevent teen trends or mitigate bad behavior during them.
We have to be fluid as a police department. So as times change, things change, tactics change. Will change. The approach will change. So we have to make sure that we're focused on what it is that's happening, whatever the trend is.
Mayor Brandon Johnson said he wants young people to be able to gather downtown or wherever they want, with a caveat.
But this cannot come at the expense of reckless and irresponsible behavior, and particularly behavior that endangers others. Parents and guardians, I need your assistance in making sure that we know where your children are at all times.
The mayor was asked if he thought Hyde Park could have been prevented.
I believe that the best way to prevent these gatherings from taking place is that, one, we create more opportunities for people, and that we also hold folks accountable.
Mayor continues to push back against calls by Alderman Brian Hopkins, who chairs the Public Safety Committee. He and others would like to see the city's 10 p.m. curfew modified to give police more flexibility in dealing with gatherings that happened earlier, but the mayor does not seem to be on board with that.
That's because the mayor is a sellout, and he has to be held accountable for helping push the agenda of the elites. See, you niggas that's selling out to these crackers, these Edomites. The Edomite is a so-called white man according to the Bible. Y'all will not be protected. Y'all are not safe. These riots, y'all are meant to get caught up in the riots. Y'all meant to get killed in the pestilence. Y'all meant to get killed in the nuclear missiles. Or get killed by the white man that you thought was finna protect you. History repeats itself. The sellouts of our nation were put to death by the people that they was working for. Them Edomites, man. You know, but it is what it is. This is according to the agenda of Yahweh Shema Shai, and we need these things to happen so that the kingdom of heaven can come. So you can't get prepare your mind and your body for us to come. 1, 2, ain't no point in really getting mad at this type of shit, even though sometimes you are gonna get mad, but use that anger. And the Lord gonna put his spirit upon us anyway. You use the anger to help push the word, but the Lord gonna put his spirit. They should, like the scripture say, they should do and eat them according to my fury and my vengeance. That hatred that the Lord got for our people as well is gonna be placed upon us as well. And some of the brothers gonna get power to kill Jake. By Jake, I mean you so-called blacks/Native Americans. If you're not with Yahweh Shema Shai and not on this side, by the time all hell breaks loose, that's your ass. If the angels don't get you, one of the prophets will. Or the missiles, which is still the angels. So, or the top angel, Yahweh, but the pestilence. It's all working hand in hand. Y'all understand what I'm getting at. Y'all gonna get got some type of way. Y'all are not getting away with what y'all doing. And the rappers are heavily involved in pushing the reason why these kids are the way they are, man. So, give me a second. Let me show y'all what Hyde Park is in Chicago, Illinois. This is the Hyde Park area right off Lakeshore Drive. Y'all see the details. I ain't gotta go too far into that. Let's see. I can start right here. This wasn't the precept I want to bring in, but the leaders of our people have failed us. Those who call themselves the spiritual leaders of our people have failed us and sold us out, you know, or sold Jake out, because there's new spiritual leaders, man, that was set up by Yahweh Shema Shai. But this 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1, but there were false, and you see the phone chimed in, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. Right. the church isn't dealing with Jake and how the scriptures say to deal with Jake when they're wicked and unruly like this, man. That's why we're here today in our captivity. That's why, basically, the church said the law is done away with, things of that nature. It says, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies. Damnable mean condemning heresies. Changing the scriptures, lying about what the Lord say goes. And I just stated, they said the law was done away with. They say that the Lord saved everybody. We are not the children of Israel, etc., etc. All these lies start small, and the more and more you go off, the more and more you accept them and continue with them, you go off more and more, and your judgment ends up being off, and you come up with all types of other doctrines and philosophies against the scriptures. When you going off according to the Bible, you have to straighten yourself up, because the scriptures say little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. If you don't straighten yourself up, you're going to get worse and worse, and that's how the Lord get rid of people. It says, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. That's what's coming, swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. Right? They speak evil of the scriptures and what we're teaching, man. And pernicious mean destructive ways. It says, hold on, bear with me.